Hello, 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 everyone. It is Financially Free D here, and we are back with another From 9 to 5 to Financial Freedom series. So, today we are talking about relationship banking, working with the right institutions to maximize your funding. So, as everyone's starting to come on in, please drop a one in the comment section, or matter of fact, drop a dollar sign in the comment section if you are ready to secure your funding and actually live financially free. So, if you have not heard yet, I am having a 5-day challenge that is completely free where I am going to talk to you guys about how you can fix your personal credit, obtain 100K in business funding, create a profitable business, and most importantly, you can invest and create passive income. So if you are interested in joining me in my free 5-day challenge, drop 100 down in the comment section and I will send you the link to join us. It is beginning on April 2nd. Again, it is completely free. I'm going to give you the complete playbook of how I became financially free. All right, so without further ado, let's drop some dollar signs in the comment section so we can get started, guys. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're trying to do. What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? And I will answer them down in the comment section. So today we're covering relationship banking and why that is important. So I told you guys that I use something that is very, very unique called the SFP formula, which is a strategic plan, which is business funding and profitability. That's how I became financially free. I left my 9-to-5 job, created a business, obtained 100K in business credit, and started investing. And now I run on autopilot. I'm actually here in Colombia, and my business is still running, but I'm coming to you guys to teach you every single day how you can do the exact same thing. So if you see my background, I'm in a mansion chilling at a mastermind. So relationship banking and why this is important. So this is the F part in the SFP formula and framework. F stands for funding. So how do we get funding? How do I get funding? So there's people who do certain things, credit card stacking. There's people who do alternative financing. There's people that do a lot of different things to get funding. But for me, I like to do relationship banking, especially if you're going for high limits funding. So if you want 100K, 250, $500,000, $1 million in funding to start that business, scale that business, or to invest in passive income, then you are going to need to do relationship banking. That's the best way. I was able to obtain $250,000 from one institution by doing relationship banking. So drop a dollar sign in the comment section if you guys are ready for me to start telling you guys exactly how you can do it too. What is relationship banking, right? So you guys want to know, what is that? I don't know if you all are familiar with it or not, but relationship banking is working with the right banking institutions to maximize your funding. That is what relationship banking is. So you're going to work with specific institutions and you are going to do specific tasks in order to force them, in a sense, to give you the money that you want. All right. So my motto is, you allow them to leverage you so you can leverage them. So we're going to break down relationship banking into 3 parts tonight. So first is identifying banks and institutions that specialize in small business funding. That is very important. Not every single bank will lend money to brand new businesses. So if you are a brand new business and you haven't made a whole lot of revenue, or you're just getting started, you need to be working with the right banks that allow for brand new businesses to actually get funding. That's very, very, very important. So that is, I know you guys have heard about the Big Five. So who's heard of Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, right? We've heard of those. Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, and American Express, right? We've all heard of those. But who have heard of smaller credit unions like Alliance, like NFCU? These are some banks that may or may not be willing to work with smaller businesses. But the big banks will work with you as well. I want you guys to know that. but it is how you structure your relationship with them. That is very important. So drop a $ in the chat if you're still with me, if you want me to keep going. I just dropped 4 banks that you can go to right now, right? So number 2 is building and nurturing the relationships with the bank representatives and the loan officers if you have the opportunity to. So for me, I used to work in the industry. So I have actual connections to people in the C-suites, people who are not in the retail bank, not the people that you just go straight into the bank and you would talk to them. I have relationships with the actual C-suite, the executive, the big relationship managers, because I worked in the industry. So it's very important to cultivate a relationship with the bank. That is very, very important. You want to start with what is called a relationship manager. So if you go into the bank, you want to meet with a business banking relationship manager. That is very important. That is the person that can go back to the underwriter and say, hey, I need you to look at this application again because I need this to be approved. I think you guys made a mistake. Like for people who get denied and then you say, no. I need you to do a reconsideration on this loan application, okay? So building and nurturing those relationships with the bank representatives and the loan officers is extremely important. Number 3, you want to leverage your relationships to access higher funding limits and better terms. So what does that mean, right? Leverage those relationships. So let's say I bank with Chase Bank on the personal side. I have an auto loan with them. I have a personal checking account, a personal savings account. I have a huge relationship with them. I've been there with them, let's say 10 years, and I have a lot of positive history. I'm going to start doing relationship banking on the business side with Chase because that relationship is already established. So you already have an internal score with Chase Bank. That is really important when you're trying to get high limit funding, whether you're a brand new business or you're a seasoned business. If you want to get high limits of funding, you have to prove yourself. They want to know that if I lend you this money, you're going to pay me back. So that's the third part of relationship banking. You're going to leverage the relationships that you already have. That is extremely important. Now, let's really jump into it, guys. So it's very important. I know some of you guys are like, okay, I can go into Wells Fargo. I can go into any bank and I can just go in and ask for $25,000. No, all banks are not created equal. That is why knowing the banks that will work with you is extremely important, or working with the banks that you already have relationships with. That is extremely, extremely, extremely important. Okay, because all banks are not created equal. Whereas, let me tell you, I was a brand new business. I went into a bank that I already had a relationship with. They gave me $30,000 and I had no revenue, zero revenue. I was a brand new business. I think I've been open maybe 30 days, and they gave me $30,000 because I had the relationship and I had the prior things that I told you guys you must have to actually establish high limit funding. So if you don't recall, your personal credit score is very important. That's the foundation. How your business entity is set up is the second most important. Third thing that's most important is what bank you actually work with and what is your relationship with that bank. Because if you try to go to a bank that you have no relationship with, especially in this time, in these ages, this is not the pandemic. This is not when banks were just giving money away for free. That is not the situation anymore. Now they want you to actually prove your worth in a sense. But if you know what you're doing, hey, Jeff, what's up? NC worker, what's up? Hi, everybody, for dropping them $ in the chat. If you want to secure high limit funding, for example, I got $100,000 in less than 6 months. The relationship banking is the key. I know you guys probably see a whole bunch of ads that refer to credit card stacking. Just apply for all of these cards all at one time, right? And what happens then? 1, you get a lot of denials. 2, you get low limits. How many people watching here has credit limits $20,000 and less? I don't have a credit limit less than $25,000. Why is that? Because I did relationship banking. I did number one, which was a part of the SFP formula, which is strategic planning, strategically working with specific banks that I know are going to give me high funding and getting the right products to utilize them. So that way I can then leverage them because they've leveraged me by me putting my money in their bank. Now I'm going to leverage them and allow them to give me a whole lot of money that I'm going to use to create an extremely profitable business. And then I'm going to use it to create investments. That is the formula. That is how I became financially free. I am self-funded. I don't have any private lenders. I don't have any of that. I have access to them, but I don't do that. I don't use my personal credit, and I do not use my business revenue to invest or to scale my business. So if that is something that you are doing, you need to stop and you need to do this. This SFP formula works. I 100% have the success, not just myself, my clients. So you want to, relationship banking is very important. So next, after that, you will see that many entrepreneurs don't realize how much their banking relationships can impact their funding opportunities. Everybody thinks that they can just, oh, my business makes $1 million in revenue, so they're going to give me $1 million in credit. Or, you know, my business makes $100,000, so I'm going to get $100,000 in funding. And that's not necessarily true if you're not working with the right banks and you're not working with them with a plan. There is a way that you have to go about doing this to get high limit funding. What if I told you guys that I obtained $100,000 with two products? Two products, only two, $100,000 with two products. What if I told you I obtained 250 with 5 products? That's 50,000 each. You understand what I'm saying? So my limits are high, and that helped me to grow my business and to invest in the resort that I'm invested in, to buy the land that I have, and to build the homes that I have. It's very important that you do that, right? So next, let's get into it. One thing that you might want to be aware of is you might be working with a bank that doesn't even fund your type of business. They don't fund. There's a lot of banks out here that don't fund commercial real estate. They don't fund residential real estate. They don't. So if you're in the real estate business, you're doing fix and flips or things of that nature. You're buying and holding, or you're buying land, and you are going to a bank that does not fund those type of businesses, you're automatically denied. That is why having a strategic plan, S, allows you to get the funding, which is where we are in this step with relationship banking, okay? So next, this is very important when building the relationships with the bank. I'm gonna wrap this thing up because I want to make sure that you guys are with me on this. There are some key factors that you want to do when working in relationship banking. Number one, I already said it, work with banks that you already have a strong relationship with. Start there. That's number one. Number two, you want to work with credit unions and small community banks. That is very important in this journey. Number one, you work with the banks that you have the relationship with already. Don't just go to a brand new bank and say, give me $1 million. No, work where you already have built the relationship. Two, you go to small community banks and you go to credit unions. Number three, you want to make sure your personal credit and your personal credit profile is reflecting the ability for you to get high limit funding. So what I mean by that is you cannot have credit lines that are $500 and then think you're going to go onto the business side and get $25,000. It does not work like that. You guys understand me? So, very important. Last but not least, when relationship banking, you want to ensure that you are making deposits into the accounts that you have. If your bank is stagnant, if you have no activity, they will approve you, especially if you have a high limit. But then they're going to approve you for a lower amount of funding than you could have received if you would have came up with the strategic plan. That's why I start with the strategic plan, and you get the activity going in your bank. That is very important. You want to get their products. So what does that mean? Business checking account, savings account, business savings account? Do you have a merchant account? Do you have personal banking relationships with them? Do you have credit cards on the personal side? All of the products that you can get to build up the relationship actually will allow them to say, okay, you know what? They've been trustworthy with this money so far. So let me give them a little more, and a little more, and a little more. And then the next thing you know, you have $250,000 from one institution. No credit card stacking until you have established relationship banking. That is very much key. I've gotten $500,000 without doing any credit card stacking, solely from relationship banking. Two institutions, guys. So I'm going to leave you with this. Thank you all for tuning in again. I'm having my 5-day challenge where I'm going to go even further in depth about what banks you can use, about exactly how you can do no-doc loans and no-doc credit cards, and a whole bunch of other goodies that I have in store for you guys. Because remember, I had $100,000 with no revenue. So for those of you guys that are watching and like, I haven't made any revenue, that doesn't mean that you can't get funding. That doesn't mean that. And you don't have to do credit card stacking neither. So again, I am holding my 5-day challenge from 9 to 5 to financially free. This is for those of you who want to get out of this job and really live a financially free life, invest, start a business. For those of you who already have a business that want to scale and take yourself out of the business, then you need to 100% join the challenge. It's from 9 to 5 to financially free. I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now. You guys can either click on the link and sign up directly, or you guys can comment 100 down below if you're watching the replay, and I will send you the link. So this begins on April 2nd, guys, and spots are extremely limited because I'm giving all this information away for free, and it's for 5 full days. Every single day, we're going to go over every single part of the SFP formula, which has allowed me to get $500,000 in business credit. It allowed me to increase my personal credit score from 645 to 820. It allowed me to create a 6-figure business within 12 months, and it allowed me to invest. And now I have a lot of money in assets. Let me tell you, I'm invested in a resort. I own land and I own homes. I'm building homes. So I'm doing a whole lot, and I'm doing it even bigger now. So if you guys want to leave that 9 to 5 job, just like I did, I left my job and never looked back. It's been 4 years, almost 5 years. If you really want to leave that job, then you are going to tune in and join me live. I'm going to be live in this 5-day challenge, giving you guys all the tools you need, every single step of the way, the guide that I took to set myself financially free. When I left my job, I have never looked back, and I have grown and become successful. Every time you guys see me, I'm in a new country. So I wish the same for you guys. Again, the 9 to 5 to financially free challenge is beginning April 2nd. I have dropped the link down in the comment section. If you don't see the link, just comment down below 100 and I will send the link to you guys. Don't forget to like and share this video. Like, comment, and share so that everyone who needs this information, whether you are a business owner stuck in your business as if you are an employee and you can't travel the world, you can't spend time with your family, or if you're at a 9 to 5 job, a career that no longer serves you, you may be making a lot of money, but you are indebted to that job and you will never own it. And that's exactly why I quit climbing the corporate ladder and I left. So I will see you guys in the next one tomorrow, guys. But until then, make sure you sign up for the free challenge ASAP because spots are limited and we go live on April 2nd. So this is Financially Free D, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.